Hi everyone, I'm Mel, and as you may or may not know, I am currently living in Thailand.
With me, Joy.
One of the most common questions that we get asked is why we decided to leave the United States, and this can be broken up into two parts: why we decided to go on this adventure together, and then why we decided to come to Thailand specifically. It was kind of a bunch of spontaneous decisions. First of all, graduating early, and then deciding not to go to college. We both wanted to travel, and so we just had the crazy idea of, what if we just went somewhere?
Yeah.
It doesn't even really matter where. What if we just go somewhere?
It's like one of those plans you make with your friends, and then you don't know if it's actually going to happen or not, but it did.
Yeah.
Why did we decide to go to Thailand?
A lot of questions on this one.
Yep. At first, it wasn't Thailand, it was actually Spain. There were some complications with that because of COVID.
So we started looking at some secondary options, and Thailand was our first choice. The more research that I did on Thailand, the more I fell in love with the idea of coming here. It shifted from a backup option into my first choice, and we ended up just coming here anyway, even though Spain kind of opened up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever expect to move like this even just 2 years ago? I guess the answer to that one is yes. We first had the initial idea of leaving the United States 2 years ago.
After I graduated, I didn't exactly start planning because I took a 3-month vacation to the Philippines, and then when I got back, that's when I started planning, which was February 2021. I got a job at a Japanese Korean restaurant.
What I did was I worked on YouTube and writing, so I tried to build up my online income streams. How did you convince your parents to let you move out at 18?
The short answer is we didn't. Oh, I didn't. I don't think you had to convince me.
Yeah, it was more of just like an announcement, and then they just slowly get on board with it.
Yeah.
After all, I had already convinced my family about the fact that I wasn't going to college. They were kind of used to the idea of me going this unconventional route. We have a lot of questions here about adjusting to Thailand. The first one being jet lag. How did we deal with it? I thought it wouldn't affect me that much because my schedule was already crazy, but I had trouble sleeping all the way through at night.
We started sleeping early and waking up early, which was nice, and we would be productive in the morning. But now I kind of got used to it, and I'm back to my...
She's back to not being a morning person. Unexpected obstacles.
The visa.
The visa stuff is a pain.
Yeah. We changed our minds last minute and decided to get an education visa instead.
So we had to join a military combat school in Chiang Mai, which that's a whole other story. Did you face any kind of culture shock?
Yes.
And is it overwhelming to be in a country that is completely unfamiliar? What about the language? There were some mini culture shocks, like driving on the opposite side of the road. There's a lot of sliding doors here, and it took a while to figure that out. There's a huge range of bathrooms here. They're full on fanciest toilets I've ever seen in my life in the malls and stuff. And then there's the flip end.
Not very good.
How has the adjustment been?
Well, we moved twice. We kind of had to do two adjustments.
You're so right. And I was just getting used to Bangkok and the lifestyle there and the busy hustle bustle type vibe. And then we moved to the mountains.
Yep.
I would say that in the beginning it was very overwhelming. It was just so much to take in because everything was different and it kind of just all piles up on top of each other. Plus the communication part can be rough at times. But I feel like we're starting to get the hang of it. You slowly get used to one thing at a time, and then at that point you're kind of only dealing with the language barrier. We've gotten to the point where we can
order our coffees.
That's
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do every day.
Do you feel lonely there? Everything is unfamiliar.
I don't feel lonely, no. But yes, everything is unfamiliar. But
I agree with
that.
We still keep in touch. There's FaceTime, social media. How is it in Thailand?
It's low-key similar to the Philippines, so I like it. I grew up there. I like how it's similar and kind of familiar, but not really because of the language.
Do you like it there? Are you happy? Yes. Yes.
As happy as I can be.
That sounds sad.
What?
I was gonna say I'm happier here than I've ever been. Versus our expectations, how does it compare to what we thought it would be?
We didn't really have any expectations because this year just went by so fast. We just kind of planned and then didn't think about what it would be like
You're
to be
right.
here.
And so we didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into. How does it feel to move to another country? I would say it's definitely scary and pushes you out of your comfort zone a lot, but it's also very rewarding too.
Yes, it makes me feel cool.
What's the best part of the decision to move there?
Being independent.
For sure.
Yeah. You're like born into the world again, and you're keeping yourself alive.
Yeah,
by
you're
yourself.
like an outsider, so you gotta be a bit more independent, I would say, than if you were in a similar area nearby. Best experience so far.
Oh my god,
what
can
would
I
you
talk
say?
about this?
Yes, go for it.
The best experience so far was the times where we met Mel's friend, online friend, Loyola. She took us to take the SkyTrain for the first time to all the malls. It was crazy because we thought we were in the middle of Bangkok, but then she showed us like everything beyond where we lived.
What's something about Thailand that you found most unique and distinct to it?
It's diverse.
It's very diverse. Yes, the land.
Thailand.
Like when we went on the train from Bangkok to here, there were a lot of mountains and like really pretty views. The countryside. Yeah, the country. Also, there's a lot of beaches here. We have no beach experience in Thailand.
We lived in the beach in Cali.
We're kind of used to it. We're kind of over it. How different is the currency?
$1 equals 33 baht.
What's something that we hate the most about Thailand? We actually do have an answer. It's not all fun and games here.
The streets are horrible.
The streets
actually, some streets.
Depends on the streets. In this general area, there's a lot of streets that are it's pretty chill.
Yeah,
you can walk in the middle of the road, spin around if you want to, but you go down there, there's this one busy road, and there's so much cool stuff on the other side, but you have to cross the road, and it's so busy. There's no crosswalk. So we've had to jaywalk
a whole highway.
I
don't want to think about that. That was scary.
You can watch that in my recent video, but that was horrible. We also had similar experiences in Bangkok where they actually, because it was a big city, they had actual crosswalks with lights, like you'd see in the US. But you walk and nobody's stopping.
The sidewalks. There's motorcycles on the sidewalk.
Oh, that was horrible.
Like what?
You have to be alert when you're walking around. It's not like all
peaceful.
Yeah, like just a stroll. How is the food in Thailand? Also the weather. Let's just address the weather really quick.
I love the weather in Chiang Mai.
It's so nice.
So nice. Bangkok
it was like so hot. We were in an oven all day.
This is winter weather.
So
we're gonna have to get ready for summer.
Yeah, it still won't be as bad as Bangkok. Some general thoughts on the food. It's much more affordable here than in the US.
I wasn't into spice before I came here, but now I am. Like I like spice.
I was so shocked when she like went to a restaurant and you wanted it spicy. Best coffee place. We're prepared for this one. Our favorite place is Light Up Cafe.
Fun fact, that's actually the first cafe we ever went to in Chiang Mai.
You're right.
It was very close to where we stayed at. So we walked out of our place and it was right there. And we're like, oh, that's convenient.
We've tried other places and nothing could top it.
They have like so many different options. They have Thai tea shake, the normal Thai tea cream cheese. Oh my god, all of them are so good.
So we also had a few questions about how we're able to afford this trip. We're actually funding this all on our own. It helps that Thailand is quite affordable, so savings can go a really long way here. Going into this trip, we were kind of in different financial situations where she had a lot of savings and I had like none, and then I had some online income and she had none.
No.
So we were like flip-flopped in that case. What are our plans while we're here for the next year while we're living in Chiang Mai? Growing our YouTube channels.
Yes.
That's probably the main thing. We're gonna start posting more now that we're all settled in and the visa stuff is taken care of. What do you do as an entrepreneur? We're YouTubers. I also do some writing. I write books and I run a publishing house, Lost Island Press. Check it out, listen to our music. You'll help support our book releases. Do you feel the way you write has differed anyway since you moved? Yes, in very small ways though, because I feel like I've gotten used to seeing new things like the sliding doors or just other very random small things like that where I can now describe them better because I've seen more types of them. If that makes sense. Do we recommend it?
Yes. Absolutely.
If you're taking a gap year, I would say this would be an amazing place to come and spend your time.
Just for vacation, it's really nice. You got the beaches, the cities, the mountains.
Would you recommend traveling to Thailand or doing what you are doing now? So if you want to move here like us, as like a digital nomad or something.
If you enjoy working online and traveling, this would be great for you.
You have to be in it for both. Our plans after Thailand, people want to know if you're going to stay in Thailand forever, if we're eventually going back to the US, if we're going to keep traveling. What is your take on this?
We are not staying here forever. We're staying here for a year or as long as our visa lasts, and then we're planning to visit our family in the States. I think we'll head back out again and travel more.
I'm still not really sure where I want to go next. There's a chance that I may go to the US to visit family and then come back to Thailand if I really like it here. I'm not sure yet. But as for some other places that I'm interested in going to, I would really like to see Bali, and I'm also interested in Malaysia.
My choices right now is just the Philippines, but that's kind of turning me off because I was there for literally 10 years. So that would be my choice right now.
That concludes our questions. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in my next video, which will likely be in 2022. And check out Joy's channel as well. Bye!
Bye!